Okay, Claire. So I just wanted to take some time and look at this cognitive distortion information sheet. It's also known as checklist of thinking errors. So I thought maybe we can go through this together. So what this is about is just saying that everyone, including myself, we can all have these thoughts like throughout our lives, and it's completely normal to have these thoughts. But what I want to focus on is try to help you identify these thoughts and then try to modify it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think.
Yeah. So what I want to do is go through each one together, and we can take turns.
Okay.
And so we'll read the description and then provide an example just to get a better understanding. If you get stuck on one, don't worry. Like I'll be here and help you out. How do you feel about doing this?
Yeah, I think so. We're just going to take turns reading them and going through examples.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So the first one is all or nothing thinking. So this is like viewing things as absolutes. It's also known as black and white thinking. So there's not really like a balanced thought there. So example we have for this, like I can say about this one is if everything doesn't go exactly as planned, then your daughter's wedding is not going to be, it's going to be ruined. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, so it's either like the wedding goes perfectly or goes absolutely wrong and nothing's right about it.
Yeah, so that's kind of all or nothing thinking.
Okay. And then the next one we have is mental filter.
Mm-hmm.
So dwelling on the negatives, only seeing failures but not successes. And I need to think of an example for this?
Yeah, so what do you think this example could be of this?
Maybe like not taking into consideration my retirement as being a success. So like most people at my age at 55 don't retire by now. So that's kind of a success even though I'm taking it as like a negative thing right now in my life.
Yeah, that's a really good example because, like you said, not a lot of people are able to retire at the age of 55. So even though you're retired now, you're very successful throughout your career because you're able to take the time off earlier. Oh, that's a really good example. So the next one is jumping to a conclusion, and there's two components in this thinking error. So there's mind reading, so assuming people are responding negatively to you without absolute evidence of that. So example of this one is, so you're telling me in the other sessions that you're afraid to tell your friends about how you're feeling lately because you may think that they're judging you for not enjoying your retirement.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, so like that's a jumping to a conclusion because like have you ever asked them?
No, we haven't talked about it. I just know that they are.
And how do you know that though?
I can just feel it. They're judging me.
Can you kind of see how that's jumping to a conclusion there?
Yeah, as in like they never actually told me that to my face. Yeah.
So and then the other component is fortune telling. So you're kind of predicting a negative outcome to show. So an example of this is you're telling me that you haven't been driving lately, which that used to be something that kind of relaxed you, right?
Yeah, I used to like driving, now not so much.
So why? Can you tell me again why you're not driving anymore?
I'm really scared of having a heart attack while I'm driving. Mm-hmm. So I just have been avoiding driving in case I get these pains again, even though the doctor says it's not a heart attack. Mm-hmm. I'm still scared of getting one. And I think if I drive, I'll get in an accident and then I'll die. So like I'm just terrified to drive now.
Mm-hmm. But do you know the odds that could actually happen?
Not really.
Mm-hmm. Can you kind of see how that can tie in with like fortune telling, so that jumping into conclusion?
Yeah, like I don't actually know the likelihood of me getting into an accident, and also the doctors have told me that it's not a heart attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So can you tell me what it says about emotional reasoning?
Yeah, so reasoning from how you feel. Emotions are just feedback, not proof that something is true or false, or right or wrong.
Mm-hmm. So
that could be like, I feel like a loser, so I am one.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of that one. So that's a common statement that people usually say to themselves. So that's it's not always right though. Like just because you are not doing anything, that doesn't make you a loser. Sometimes that's needed. Mm-hmm. Like I need times just to absolutely do nothing and sit on the couch and maybe like be a couch potato. But
yeah,
it doesn't define who you are. So that kind of actually like ties in with labeling. So that's another thinking error. And labeling is telling you yourself something and labeling like who you are. So an example of this is like I'm a jerk or a loser or I'm stupid. Like I made a mistake making like retiring early. Like so that can be a good example of that. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. So just telling myself that I'm stupid or lazy, like just labeling myself.
Yeah, even though that's not true. Yeah.
The next one is overgeneralization. So seeing a negative event as a never-ending pattern of defeat.
Yeah. So, what do you think could be an example of that?
I think that would be like me saying that since my retirement has been going so poorly recently, that my entire rest of my life is going to be crap.
Yeah, that's a really big one. Yeah. So this also kind of connects. So, as you can tell, that when we go through this, a lot of these like intertwine with each other. So the next one we talked about is discounting the positives. So during your so an example of this, it talks about insisting that your positive qualities and characteristics or accomplishments don't make a difference. It doesn't really count. So a good example of this one is I remember you telling me like when we talked about your strengths, you said that you are very organized and patient.
Yeah.
So this example of this could be that even though I'm patient and organized, I don't put those skills into good use, so they don't even really matter. They're not really that good of quality because I don't put them in use. So that'd be kind of an example of that. Do you find yourself like saying that to yourself?
Yeah, I think I do. Definitely. Like I am patient and organized, but recently I haven't been really thinking that I do have any positive characteristics because I haven't been doing anything with my life.
Yeah, so maybe we can we're going to do an exercise later, so maybe this can help with our other exercise later on in the session. Are you okay to go on to the next one?
Yeah. So it's magnification or minimization. So either blowing things out of proportion or shrinking their importance. So magnification would be like perhaps like I'm an ungrateful person because I'm not enjoying my retirement and therefore like no one is gonna like me anymore. Like keep blowing it out of proportion, like just because I haven't been enjoying my retirement means that I'm like a horrible person.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you mean?
You kind of really hit the dot there. That was a really good example, and I'm impressed that you were able to identify that so quickly. Do you think you'd be able to think of something that might be minimizing?
So that's like shrinking the importance?
Yeah.
I guess I could say like staying in bed is not a big deal because I'm still getting out of bed to make my husband dinner.
Yeah.
Like just minimizing the fact that I actually shouldn't be in bed all day.
Yeah. So why do you think you're still able to get out of bed and make dinner for your husband?
Well, we need to eat.
Yeah.
So I guess there's some kind of driving cause of hunger that's making me get up.
Yeah, but can you see how like it says minimizing? Like you see that as such a little thing, but it's actually important, right? Yeah. So there's two more. So the second last one is the should statements. This is personally my favorite because I catch myself saying this shoulds and musts all the time. So a good example could be like, I should be enjoying my time off. Like I should be enjoying my retirement, but I'm not. And the other one could be like for a must, like I must be getting out of bed so that I won't be considered a lazy person. Like I must. And you're really kind of holding on to those demands like really tightly to yourself, and that can like kind of be it can be like damaging in some way. Does that kind of make sense?
So it also be like I have to get out of bed to not be considered lazy too.
Yeah, that can be because like it's the need to do something. Like I should be doing this. I must be when like it's not 100% true. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get that.
Yeah. And then the last one.
Is it mine?
Yep.
So, personalization and blame. So, blaming yourself for something that wasn't entirely your responsibility, or blaming others and denying your role in the problem. So, I think I definitely do this.
Oh, yeah?
I always think that it's my fault to do, like, anything, really. Like, it's my fault, like, for retiring and making myself feel like this way. Because, like, I didn't have to retire. I just decided that I could, but now I'm kind of regretting my decision.
That's pretty... Just hearing you saying that, it sounds like it's hurtful to admit that, right?
And then for blaming others, I guess I also frequently like blame my husband for not showing me affection and therefore like not supporting me. So like if I had more support at home from my husband, like I would not be like so sad all the time.
Yeah, it's hard. I am going to give you props because that's also a really hard one for clients and everyone to like identify. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good.
you good? Okay, so just before we take a little break, I'm just going to make you do one more thing. So you identified that personalization and blame is really connects close to you. I'm going to try and make you think of two more that you think might really connect with you and why you think that.
Okay. I feel like I do often use should statements, like I should be getting up right now, or I have to go do this, when really like, or like I should be enjoying my retirement, whereas it's okay if I'm not, I think, necessarily. I think I use those ones a lot.
Yeah, which is, like I said, which is completely normal because I always do that. Like I should be doing houseworks when I get home, but when I get home from work, I'm usually in bed and wanting to watch TV all night, right? Yeah.
And then maybe I feel like recently I've been jumping to conclusions, maybe with my friends, thinking that they're judging me when they actually haven't said anything to my face about them being like mad at me for not enjoying my retirement, that kind of thing. I think that would apply to mind reading more.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you look at these three thinking correct errors, do you think that's something that you would like to like focus on for a while, just to try to have you practice identifying and trying to modify those thoughts?
Yeah, I think it would definitely help if I didn't think those all the time.